unfortunate. And so we have a lot to talk about, just a lot to get to. And if you want...
Health and wellness, transformation, yeah, we got it. Discuss your breakthroughs, national issues.
Local Bahamians, and also those who are listening around the region and the world as well. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have an audience that really, from Europe to the United States, Canada, around the region, and of course, Bahamians right here who are very interested in just wanting to know the answers and ask the questions that get them the answers that they seek. Before we
need a little inspiration, tune into the conversation. Talk about it on the conversation.
When the country really need to find ways to join together to fight common problems that we have, collaborative leadership.
You need a little conversation. We can go far with the conversation. Here we should meet on the conversation, yeah.
Please share the video, share. Tag some people in the live feed, share it in your private Facebook group, share it in your WhatsApp group.
Let me meet on the conversation, yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the conversation. It's a brand new week here on the show. It's a wonderful week. I'm really excited about this week. I'm excited about today's show as well, because it's a number of firsts happening. The first thing is we have a title sponsor. That's right. Yeah, that's right. You can be a title sponsor of a show. And of course, when you contact us, we tell you exactly what comes with that. It's not just one day you're going to be featured. Oh, no. We give you so much more. And so, of course, we will welcome our title sponsor in just a minute. If you were paying attention to what's happening, you saw that the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, that is the employee union of BPL, Bahamas Power and Light, that they held a protest this morning to call attention to a number of issues, outstanding issues, the president says, that have been outstanding for quite some time. Well, we have the president here, Mr. Kyle Wilson, and then we also have a release that's coming moments ago from BPL. It's quite lengthy, and so we'll try perhaps read just a little bit here and there of that release. But they have responded to it. And so then right after that, we have the Hot Topics panel to talk about a number of things, even the country opening up. Does that sound like good news to you? Now, of course, the nurses union is warning that before any further restrictions are lifted or eased, that the government must be sure that the country is ready. So what do you all think about that? I know everybody has been screaming and crying for the longest while. Oh, free us, let us do. But the medical profession still obviously is quite concerned and don't want it to be something that is done too quickly without some real thought being given into it. Because after all, the Delta variant that the United States is now watching very closely is a real threat, a real thing. And so we have a lot to talk about today. I am so happy to see all of you. Welcome to the show today. Welcome to many of you. I'll say hello in a little bit, but I'm happy to have you all streaming already. Everybody who's in the live stream, everybody on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Share the live stream. If you on Facebook streaming, share it. Share this live stream. That is how you help me out. That's how you help get the word of the conversation out, and also that we can get more sponsors and do more things and have more shows. And so do share the live stream, tag several people in the live stream. And it's really awesome having you stream live with us today and enjoying today's show, a show where you have your say. That's right. We read your comments and we get you involved as well. And so it's good to have you streaming live today on this Monday. We want to say a big thank you and welcome. Today's show is being brought to you by CB Financial Limited. CB Financial Limited is an accounting and financial servicing company and coaching firm. And what they do is help you bring your business idea into fruition. So many people have an idea, but business isn't as simple as people think it is. You need coaching. You need to be able to put it properly in place so that you don't end up losing money or wondering, even if you have an existing business, why aren't you making money? What is it that you are doing wrong? Well, CB Financial, that is their job, to help steer you in the right direction, maybe to help you trim the fat over here, add a little bit over there, to be able to get seeing what you want to see and your bottom line. And so CB Financial, certainly, of course, the team is ready to service you, ready to help you, particularly now when everybody is looking to have multiple streams of income and looking to be able to make their dreams come true of being independent of any one entity. You want to give CB Financial Limited a phone call. Now, here's what they do. Problem solve and ensuring that your business is on the way to being successful, consulting and the different businesses. It's just not just one kind of business. They can assist restaurants and boutique resorts. That's those medium to small resorts. Absolutely. Boutique resorts, retail stores, whether it's a clothing store, shoe store, whatever kind of retail business you have going on and you need help with that, certainly, of course, reach out to CB Financial. And hardware stores, you know, and so you see it's a wide scope. Give them a call right now, 577-3734, 577-3734. Once again, our title sponsor today, CB Financial Limited. Give them a call and begin to realize your dreams today. Begin to realize your business dreams. And so welcome to the show, everybody. Now we are going to move into speaking with Mr. Kyle Wilson, the president of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Wilson. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you for spending these few moments with us.
Good afternoon, Shanique. Good afternoon, Bahamas. Hope all is well with everybody.
Yes, we are well. We are wondering what's going on with the BEWU, the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union. After all, you all have, you know, protested this morning to call attention to a number of outstanding issues. Please do walk us through. I mean, the one in particular that really stands out. I know there are several, but sexual harassment is among them.
Yes, sexual harassment is one of the issues in BPL that members are claiming. That go basically swept under the rug and are not adequately dealt with.
When do you have any information about when this would have allegedly taken place, or what is the issue with it? And have management just turned a blind eye? Is that what the real challenge is?
Well, that's one of the main challenges. You know, the ongoing cases, and I don't wish to speak there because one of the
cases, so more than one.
Yeah. And so matters are probably about to go before the courts, and so I have to be careful how I put the information out there. But there are members claiming that they would have been propositioned or spoken to with concerns to, I guess, in a sexually pervasive manner, or unbecoming or unprofessional manner. They would have made reports and nothing done.
Yeah, and so let's just quickly kind of go down the list of other. I know that there's outstanding payments in terms of whether it's additional to pay, lump sum payments, and a number of things to do with pay.
Yeah, well, every year the company engages in an increment act.
Your volume went out. Yeah, your volume went out just now. Okay, this is Kyle Wilson, president of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, talking about the protest this morning, where he let his members out and they protested right in the parking lot of BPL at the headquarters on Blue Hill Road to draw attention to a number of issues. You heard increments that are outstanding. You heard lump sum payments that are outstanding. And so you're looking at video right now of what happened earlier today. This was right there, the workers gathered in different groups on the property of BPL. Members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force were there as well. And what Kyle Wilson did, he led them there and he talked about a number of issues that are outstanding. We hope to get him back in so he can continue. He mentioned, of course, increment and lump sum payments. And again, there's the video showing what took place earlier. Mr. Wilson, yes, continue, sir.
Yeah, with regards to that, I've been inundated with calls from the membership from Abaco to Anagua, claiming that they would have not received increments or lump sum payments. Persons also claiming that the company would have wrongfully taken payments out of their salaries towards, I guess, the medical insurance. It's an issue that the union had the company before the courts concerning trying to avoid taking pay out of persons' salaries without basically the person's consenting.
So this is the medical insurance that the company provides, and so what they do is take out monies without the permission of the union or the workers towards this medical insurance.
But these things are agreed to by the union. Okay, the benefit is a statutory benefit. There are workers like myself who do not pay into the medical insurance because when I came into BEC, the part of the agreement that I was covered under does not allow me to pay, so it's fully covered. But there are others who come into BPL where the union would have negotiated for them to pay into it, but it's a set amount. And now the company is saying that the insurance has risen, and as a result, they would have to pay more. And I'm saying to the company, okay, prove it to me. Give me the documents and show me where there has been an increase in the insurance. The company for the past 5 months, despite many written requests and even court requests, have refused to turn the documents over to me to basically have the union ensure that what the company is claiming is legitimate. How do I know their claim of increasing insurance is legitimate if they refuse to hand me the documents? What do they have to hide?
Well, I'll tell you this, Mr. Wilson, I don't know if you are aware, but the BPL released maybe 20 minutes ago a statement, and let me see if I can perhaps in part just read bits and pieces. It says, it was falsely claimed the executive management has refused to sit with the line union and discuss employee benefits. The union president has, in fact, met with the chief executive officer, the executive director, and the director of human resources many times, including a meeting that was held in the training room with union executives at BPL's board and executives. The company rejects the assertion that benefits have been denied to many deserving employees. The company also rejects the assertion that there exists at BPL an environment of gross favoritism, unfair promotions, unfair hiring practices, and what were called reckless skipovers.
What do you expect them to say? What do you expect them to say? Okay, they meet with me sometimes because on 5 occasions the deputy prime minister of this country has demanded that they sit with me. I made a phone call to Mr. Hasty on Friday, and to this point he never even returned the call. Do you want me to send you that screenshot of the call? So they can make up their lies, okay? All they want. Sit with me and discuss what? Ask them when, give you dates, give you times, and say to them, did not the president request the information? So if you sit with me and you give me nothing, what is it? So just to say you sat with me?
Right. You spoke out. You spoke out. Yes. You spoke out on Labor Day.
Relevant to the issues of today. So that's garbage.
You spoke out on Labor Day, and now, of course, this morning you had a protest. What is pushing the membership to push you to begin being more forceful now?
The members of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, not Kyle Wilson, and not the union. I'm also a union member. The members are saying that they had enough of the way BPL is being run. It's being run like a petty tuck shop. Okay? And are they not saying that my claim that the new payroll system being a disaster, they didn't speak to that because they know it's the absolute truth. It's a pure disaster, and it's creating a lot of issues. And
what are some of the issues that the new payroll system, and how long has it been in effect? And what are some of the issues, the absolute horrific issues it's creating?
It's been in effect over a year, and we've been to the labor board. We tried to sit with the company, telling them that it's illegal and it's against our agreement for them to go and change the management and payroll system, right? The pay stubs are illegible. You cannot read them. You cannot use them for banking purposes. You do not know your sick and vacation time, which was once on your pay stub. That's no longer available to you. I was out for 3 days sick when I have not called in sick for over 1 year. My boss tells me that I have no sick time. And I said to him, sir, the sick time is replenished in October. I haven't been sick in over a year, other than when I had COVID, and that was covered. So can you tell me why? And he said, that's true. So why don't you have any time? Because the new system does not update your sick and pay time. And
Were
you're
you
sick and
all, was the union at all brought into this sort of talks and negotiations to say, listen, this is how we're moving forward. This is how the company is improving or not improving. This is how things are going to appear from here on in. Well, it sounds like you all were not.
Well, we are not, and we are never. And I always go and I report to the DPM the way they're handling the union, the way they're treating me with disrespect, the way where certain managers in the company call me a little boy and say they have no respect for me and they'll do as they wish. Okay? And so
you were called allegedly by management. You were allegedly called by management a little boy, and you are being treated as such.
Yes, that's what they call me, a little boy, a big grown 40-year-old man that leads the union, being referred to as a little boy. This is the nasty attitude of the leaders in BPL. And if there be a God in the heavens, they know who they are that be saying these things.
Mr. Wilson, what are you and your membership prepared to do? Because the thing is, people have alleged. Listen, hold on. Is Kyle Wilson, president of the BEWU, playing politics? What is the issue? But what you are saying today, it really sounds like legitimate concerns. Just talk about the fact that how serious an issue or issues these are for you and your membership. We hope he comes back in to answer that. That is Kyle Wilson, president of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, who is making a number of allegations here, talking about a number of things that have been dragging along for quite some time between the union that he leads, which is, of course, the line staff union, and the executive management of the Bahamas Power and Light Company. And quite frankly, saying that they need those matters addressed, and he needs the respect of management. He needs management to respect him as president of that union. We are hoping that he can come back in. By the way, welcome to the conversation. Please do share the live stream. Let me see if I can get to some comments, and hopefully he can come in and answer that one question, what I said a minute ago. And then what I asked him, and then we'll move on from there. Let me just see, perhaps sexual harassment. Yep, absolutely. That is one of the allegations that he is making. Good afternoon, everybody. Listen, if you have a comment, Alexandra Pinder says, why don't they have a computerized pay stub system? My God, it's online for free. Well, perhaps that is there he is. Thank you. So I have two questions, Alexandra. First, answer the question I said. I mean, people have heard it said, oh, he's just posturing. This is politics. Why now? Why whatever? Just explain to people how serious this has become. These issues.
I have been president of this union for a year and a half, since February of 2020. I have yet to sit with Mr. Hasty and his executive team to map out the way forward between both parties. Yes, I've sat with Mr. Hasty and other executives, but never in an official capacity with my team and his team to map out the way forward. And when persons try to speak up for workers' rights, then, oh, that's politics. He's a PLP or he's an F&M. I carry a card of no party. I carry a card of no party. I'm a Wilson and I'm a Bahamian. I'm not an F&M or a PLP. So don't try to tag me. And any political party out there could say that Kyle Wilson has no affiliation, has not even been to one of their meetings. I've never been to an F&M or PLP meeting. So I don't know anything about politics. Okay, and it's the wicked, divisive Bahamians who try to sully the water and muddy things up by trying to say workers' rights and mixing politics in it. Okay, I'm a big proponent of the Deputy Prime Minister. Okay, and if you want to know, okay, I'm a big proponent of Mr. Desmond Bannister, and I have the greatest respect for him as a person based on how he treats me as a leader. If you want to talk,
but you're saying the company, you were saying the executives don't take right, the executives obviously aren't taking their lead from how he treats you. Does he call you a big overgrown, does he call you a big boy, or you are just a child? Does he dismiss you that way?
The Deputy Prime Minister of the Bahamas and I have a great relationship, and he gives me the utmost respect.
Listen, Mr. Wilson, if you can answer this, Alexandra Pinder says perhaps it's the fact that BPL wants to move the company forward and become modernized in terms of having the pay stubs computerized and online, and the union is just resisting it.
Madam, when I receive my pay stub, you're mixing apples and oranges. When I receive my pay stub that I have to take to the bank sometimes, the pay stub does not tell me my salary and how it's broken down, whether it's overtime, whether it's double time, sick time, whatever it is, it doesn't tell me that. It's illegible. The pay stub system has been illegally changed by the company. So don't tell me the company is trying to move forward. We have an industrial agreement. So don't tell me it's okay for them to break that agreement, okay? They have an agreement. And when the company wanted to modernize and bring in the clock system, the union worked along with them.
So you're saying consult along the way so that there is no confusion and you avoid all of this.
All you're asking for. This company does not consult with the union. I have hundreds of letters that I will provide to you from Mr. Obi Ferguson telling this company to please sit and consult with the union when trying to implement these things and to cease and desist the unilateral actions. Why am I before the courts? Why am I before the tribunal? Why am I at the labor boards? I've tried every legal means to work along with this company. Every legal means. And Director Rollins and Mr. Hasty and Ms. Mizik, you know the truth, that Kyle Wilson has begged to sit down with you guys and work out the issues, but you ignore me and you disrespect me. And it's alleged that a particular executive constantly calls me a little boy and says she has no respect for me, that I'm not Paul Maynard, and I can't, and I don't command the respect of the people, and she could do as she wished. Well, let today be an example that Kyle Wilson is not to be played with, and he was elected by these people to lead them because of persons like you who feel that you can trample workers' rights. And they know I'm not scared and I'm not fearful, and I will stand firm for the rights of the workers, and I will not allow you to disrespect me and trample me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, he represents the line staff at the power company here in the Bahamas, Mr. Kyle Wilson, and talking about really just really fleshing out further and explaining for us what led to today's protest, this morning's protest. We showed you video of that a little while ago, of what took place in the parking lot at BPL at the headquarters this morning. And you heard him talk about the fact that, listen, there's no consultation, there's no respect. He also talked about the fact that, listen, the system of payments and this, pardon me, Kyle, the lump sum payments and.
Well, Janique, over 2 weeks ago, I sent a letter to the company letting them know that we have issues already with the pay system, and if they have any question to resolve the issues before the pay is up. 4 p.m. on Friday, after taking the funds out of the person's salaries and not informing them, then Ms. Mizik writes a dissertation to the employees explaining after, when she should have done so a month ago. You don't take my money and then write me a month later on a Friday at 4 p.m. telling me why you taking the money. Why don't they tell you about the Generation Control Center that they implemented without informing the union? And after a whole year, I've been behind Mr. Hasty to sit down. I said, Ms. Daisy, let's work this issue out. You did it behind my back. It's wrong, but I'm still willing to sit with you and work this out. As he sat with me, I've been asking him. So don't let this company play victim after they've been a big bully and a villain. Now that the people are standing up and saying enough is enough. Shanique, I'm only one person. The entire membership from Abaco to Inagua stood with me today. And that sends a big statement to tell you we've been bullied and taken.
That obviously something is wrong. Obviously that the people do have grievances that they feel are not being addressed and ignored. And among them that you heard Mr. Wilson talk about is the increment system that many employees have issues with. And you're right. Who the dickens can sit down and let you take money or their pay and then come and explain it a month later? Yes.
Let me say this to you as president of this union. The company went behind my back and changed my job description of what a plant mechanic is. Never signed off, never spoke, never sat with the union. Okay? Then they denied me, the president of this union, despite getting a perfect, excellent appraisal by my supervisors that I am not entitled to an increment, despite my industrial agreement saying so. So I must sit back and just allow them to do that and ask them if
No.
it's true or not. And not just me, many of the members. And it's not me, I'm speaking on behalf of the members and the people who are angry. And you saw that anger today, that we have enough of this callous unilateral action by the leaders of BPL. And we give them 14 days to fix it, or the union will be back. We didn't cut off
14 days.
power. We didn't hurt the Bahamian people. You are your brothers, we are your sisters. And you know when we come home, how we talk to you and explain these issues to you. So I have a mother, I have a father, I have brothers, I have sisters, okay? And I will never intentionally do anything to hurt them. And so we didn't bother with any power, we didn't cut no power, we didn't do anything. We just had a simple press conference and a demonstration of the true solidarity of the union, wanting the company to fix the issues because we are tired of the way they treat us.
Well, I'll tell you this, we wish you all luck with getting that fixed and getting that sorted out, because we as hell don't want no interruption with the power the power supply anywhere in this country. And so we certainly, of course, we will continue to monitor this. You have said 14 days. You have 2 weeks to fix this, to come and sit with the union, Mr. Kyle Wilson and his membership, and get these matters sorted out.
A coalition today that consisted of every single union in this country stood in solidarity with me. Let that send a strong message to everyone that's listening. Repeat with you. The NCTUB, the National Congress of Trade Unions, and the CUTBC, that's the Trade Union Congress, which are separate entities, all stood, and every leader of every trade union stood today with Kyle Wilson. Let that speak to my character. Okay, let that speak to my character and who I am as a person, that I could unite labor when no one has ever done it before, and I could have everyone from Abaco to Inagua stand in solidarity. Let that be a strong message to you who try to trample labor, that we are sending a message of unity and strength. Every union stood with us today, and we will be back in 14 days if you continue to abuse the membership.
And you know what? We will check in with you in 2 weeks to see exactly what it is. Perhaps you may have another. Hopefully you do get some sort of response from them.
The people are sick and tired. They're not afraid of pay cuts, and they are not afraid of being victimized. They're not afraid of your threats. We have had enough. Listen to me good, and I want everyone under the sound of my ears. The Bahamas Electrical Workers Union has endured enough, and we will not take it anymore. So them and their deceptive lies that they're putting out to the public, and I expect them to do it, right, to deceive and muddy the water. And then you know they're gonna do, when they realize they're caught with their hand in the cookie jar, try to lie on me and play politics. Well, check my ballot box, division number 13, okay, Nassau Village. I am a proponent of the government of today. So if you want to talk politics, I voted for the FNM. All right, so don't play with me. Don't play with me. I gave them an opportunity. I gave Doc an opportunity too. So don't play with me and play that politics game with me. We don't go there.
Well, I think it would not be in their interest to play the politics game, because then, you know, that sometimes can turn out really awful.
And I vote whoever I think is the best person to lead this country. And I'm still a proponent of the DPM, Mr. Desmond Barnes. And I don't care what nobody have to say, because he treats me with respect.
And that is all, you know, Kyle, I'll tell you this, that is all anybody wants. And you lead a union of thousands of people around this country, and you are a member of the wider body of trade unionists. And the thing is, respect you. Come to the table, sit down, and just respectfully negotiate and have a conversation about, listen, let's just have an understanding, a bit of give and take here of what it is that we want.
The DPM on many occasions has given direct instructions to this company concerning issues with the union, and not one of those issues, not one. He personally came to BPL, and he said to purchase new vehicles for the persons to do the service jobs. Not one vehicle has been purchased yet. He gave instructions on many issues. But I don't
understand. But who could this? But I don't get it though. How these people could look in the DPM face, the second most powerful elected official in the country, and decide, Kyle, come back in for a second, that they're not going to listen to what he says. If he gives directives, how they could decide that they're not going to at all adhere to them or honor the directives? That is just wild. We are going to continue to follow this developing the story at BPL. There you are. Because I was asking, how did DPM, the Deputy Prime Minister, could give directives and people decide they're not going to honor those directives? Just come back in. I know that you are mobile, and so I hope that we can get you back in really quickly. I was asking you, how could people decide they ain't going to listen to him and just go ignore what it is he's telling them to do?
Well, let me say this. If they ain't listening to him, you think they're going to listen to me?
Obviously not.
Okay, then. So don't let them with their fake press statement trying to play victim when they've been nothing but bullies and taking advantage of the union. Well, why did the Director of Labor, Mr. John Pinder, state to Ms. Mizik, the Director of Labor, to her face that you are exploiting workers in BPL? Well, talk that. It ain't me, the Director of Labor said.
Director of Labor.
Who was alleged to be a candidate of the government, who was alleged to be a candidate in the upcoming elections.
Allegedly so.
Directed the face of the Director of Human Resource of BPL. Am I lying? I calling names.
Calling names, that's right. John Pinder. Yeah. Listen,
and he's telling the truth. And I respect John Pinder for speaking the truth. I have the greatest respect for him.
Mr. Kyle, Joaquin Vanessa Stewart says, pressure burst pipe, people are fed up. It's as simple as that. People are fed up. Good afternoon to you, Turks and Caicos, Joylyn Henfield. Thank you all. Thank you all for watching wherever you are. Please do share the live stream. What you have just witnessed is a very frustrated and fed up president of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, who led a protest today, as well as a news conference, but a protest with his membership, not only here in New Providence, but around the country, to call attention to a number of grievances, outstanding grievances that he says have been lingering and on the table for too long. And so now members are saying, you know, hey, Wilson, what we doing? What's up? Get this stuff addressed. And so, yes.
Last week, we were supposed to start negotiations. 3 days before the negotiations, they write a letter to my legal counsel and say they lost the documents.
Wow.
This is what we're dealing with.
So this is the game that's going on.
Having those documents for 1 month, turn around and say, "Oh, we lost them. Could you send them to us again? Because we sort of misplaced them. I'm sorry." Yeah, this is the games they play, and then come to the public with a big bag of lies, trying to distract them. The public knows the truth. We have this is the era of social media. Okay, so put the little paper out there telling the people garbage. They ain't dumb. The people know their power off. The people don't know their powers go off. You don't need to be feeling it when the generators are the fuel. Okay, you don't need to.
Why don't you tell it all? What's going on? What's going on with every aspect of it?
I need 2 days. I need 2 or 3 days to tell you. Okay, and I just saying to you that we are fed up, and it's not just me. They looking at me. I'm just a messenger. I'm sorry, it ain't me. The people coming to me and giving me their pains. Why don't tell them my other people defecating in the bushes in Abaco because they have no bathrooms? Okay, talk that.
BPL and Abaco have no restroom for the employees to use?
They have persons working at remote engines because what happened is, because they're trying to bring the system up. They have remote generators throughout. Those persons have no restrooms, no washing facilities, anything. And they have to use the bushes to relieve themselves. Okay.
Oh no, Kyle Wilson, you surely stretch the truth. You cannot be saying that in 2021 that BPL has not made provisions for its employees and Abaco who are trying to bring that island back on after Hurricane Dorian using the bush. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
It is, and I'm telling you what it is, and so it's up to you, believe it or not. Okay, and so you can question them on it. And they can question employees on it. This is what is happening in BPL. So they're trying to distract from the truth, okay? And I can tell you what's going on. There's so many issues, man. Shanique, there's so many going on. These people don't care about Bahamians. Foreigners come here and they give them the red carpet. They give them cars. They stay behind in apartments in the Venetian, or they stay in Atlantis or Bahamas and these African places. And they give them exorbitant fat salaries, and they give you all, meaning the Bahamians what? They don't even give me my increment as president of the union. They find an excuse that is not valid, a fantasy policy that they make up that they cannot show me on paper as to why they cannot give me my increment. But we treating foreigners like kings in the Bahamas when we have Bahamians who can do these jobs. Okay,
that's the Bahamian way, eh? That's what we do. You know what I mean?
And anybody who mad with me for caring about the Bahamas and caring about Bahamians and want to see Bahamians treated right, I question your patriotism to this country.
You know what? We can catch up with you again, and we're gonna stay tuned and watch what happens in these 14 days. Because I think you have, of course, we make an opportunity available to the executive of BPL as well to have their say. I read a portion of their response, in fact, a few portions of it that came out this afternoon just before we came on live. But of course, we heard you, and you were speaking for your membership. You were speaking about what it is that you feel is you and their reality. And so we were very happy that you were able to do that. And I'll tell you this, it's an ugly reality if indeed it is, as you allege, that these are the working conditions that you and your membership are made to work under and work in. Certainly, of course, just awful working conditions. And I see why you are persisting in your agitation to be able to get them addressed, get them sorted out. I will give you an opportunity, a 30 seconds, sir, to have a final comment.
Well, I cry against shame and disgrace, okay, on that person who came to muddy the water and probably maybe a BPL insider or whatever executive who try to use politics to try to duck out on the ineptness, on the failness of the leadership of BPL and the way you treat the people. You treat us bad, and you know you treat the people bad, okay, while you're living in the Venetian and condos and everything, right, as Bahamians, yeah, right? You come from Freeport, but you're getting homes paid for by the company, cars to drive, everything. But you only understand that some people only making a small salary in BPL. You're dipping into them salaries and you're hurting people.
And without the people even knowing, that's the thing. Without them even knowing. Oh, go ahead.
Coming to the union and sitting with us and showing us no respect. You're calling the union president a little boy. I'm a big grown man. Look at me. Anything little about me? I weigh 300 pounds. You're nothing little about me. I was a big monster. And you dare to disrespect me when I have thousands of people who respect me? Come on, man. I respected by the DPM and the PM of this country. And you got persons like you all who are appointed by them. They're elected. We elect them and they appoint you all. And look at the nasty attitude you're governing this company with.
That there is the most puzzling thing, though. The fact that, these people who are appointed can't seem to abide by the directives of those who appointed them. I don't quite get that part right there. Like how you could be more powerful than the person who appoint you. Like, I don't quite get that, because you decide what you can do and when you can do it, if or you can do it or not. But you know what, Kyle Wilson, president of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, I do thank you very much for stopping by.
On the show. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you very, very much. Vanessa Stewart says, we are living in Narnia. The Bahamas is not a real place for this to be happening still. Alexandra Pinder says, he's telling the truth. They don't listen to anybody, Bahamians in particular, unless you're an accent foreign. Bessie Rose says, it's wrong to deduct monies out of people's salary and then tell them after the fact. You must give people that respect, and of course, notify them as well. That is important. Listen, guys. That interview did go a bit long, but he had a lot to say, and so we let that go as long as it did. But please stay exactly where you are. Today's show is being brought to you by CB Financial. CB Financial, the most wonderful one-stop spot to get your business healthy, turn it around, and to get your business going in the right direction. Making money is what we all say, right? 577-3734, 577-3734. Stay close. The conversation, Hot Topics comes back right after this.
Make this your best summer ever with Flirty Girl's Sexy Summer Slim Down. Lose weight and win up to $3,000 in prizes. Sign up today and enjoy weekly challenges, weight loss coaching, and unlimited group workouts, including fat blasting boot camp, yoga, Pilates, cardio boxing, hardcore abs, dance off the pounds, and more. Enroll as a VIP and receive a free 7-day detox, 1 free laser lipo treatment, discounts on body contouring, facials, and Brazilian wax, plus massage and sauna treatments for just $1 per minute, all summer long. That's right, all summer long. Prizes include 1 year of free body and much more. All participants will be invited to take part in our sexy summer photo shoot to show off their results. So come on, what are you waiting for? Registration ends June 10th. Call 677-1689 or WhatsApp 467-9630 for more information.
Welcome back to the conversation on a Hot Topics Monday. We just heard from the leader of the president, rather, of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, Kyle Wilson, talking about the number of issues. You heard him go in depth, didn't mince words, and didn't hold back at all about the issues facing workers from around the country, outside of Grand Bahama. That's the workers they're facing. So BPL workers around the country, he spoke about today, and he did not again hold back anything with us a moment ago. He led a press protest rather this morning at the headquarters, on the grounds of the headquarters, to talk about those very issues. And so he stopped by for a few moments with us this afternoon to do the same thing, and says he is giving the company 14 days to get it right, to sit with them, to negotiate, to have respectful dialogue, and to be able to work through some of those issues. We will continue to follow that. Let's just bring in the Hot Topics panel. Ali McIntosh is servant leader of the Bahamas Constitution Party. Thank you very much, Ali, for being here. Also, Danielle Gibson, who is in Eleuthera. Hi, Danielle. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Garth Rosborough, who is leader of the People's National Coalition. Good afternoon to each of you, and welcome to the conversation, panelists. Are they even there? Because we could just finish talk about Kyle. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you all doing? I introduced you all, so let's just jump right in. Let's do a quick analysis of what's plaguing BPL in terms of its line staff. Danielle, jump in.
Well, Shanique, I will say this, like being on Eleuthera, we have a problem with, we had a lot of people that retired from BPL. So a lot of the historical knowledge of these polls, where they go, the lines, how things work, was lost. And now we have a lot of young people, which is great. The young people are working, but there's always a backlog and a long delay in terms of restoring power. And we all continue to see how expensive it is to produce power. And especially on family islands, I often wonder how we continue to be pumping millions and millions of dollars into any company in this country, and we can't seem to get it right. I mean, we're almost an independent nation of 50 years, and we can't get it right. Generation capacity is just, it's ridiculous to me. I mean, if we're going to borrow money and we're going to be in debt, which we're going to have to do anyway as a country, make it make sense.
Fix the utilities, man. If you know what I mean, get those sorted out. So at least you say, well, okay, well, that's what we borrowed for, and we have to pay back.
Exactly.
Miss Ali McIntosh.
That issue what he made though with the workers in Abaco, that really got to me, because I can't see any government building, any government entity doing that. I worked for the Department of Environmental Health for 10 years. And trust me, if that was a private citizen, they'd be shut down immediately.
Wow. Ms. McIntosh, good afternoon to you. Your thoughts on anything that Kyle Wilson had to say?
Good afternoon to everyone. Hi, Garth. Hi, Danielle. As always, Shanique, it's good to be with you. I mean, just listening to the interview and how the corporation is disrespecting an elected member of the union of the employees really is a serious thing. And for him to make those charges at this point, really is an indictment really on the corporation, and they need to actually explain that he is telling the truth or not telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
If he is telling the truth, it is really despicable for them to disrespect him after he's been elected, and also some of the things that he has said that some of the union personnel has to suffer is also despicable.
I absolutely agree. Garth Rosborough, good afternoon to you, sir. Anything that you would perhaps want to add?
From a human resources I heard mention about the idea of disrespect. Hello, Danny. Hello, Ms. Ali McIntosh. Good to see you all again. A hostile work environment is a very serious issue, especially here in the Bahamas. We tend to just give more power to those who are in management or those who we feel are owners of a company. And for that,
but those that we bring in, you know how we do it. We bring in the consultants or whomever it is, and you heard him describe that. That's nothing new, and for years it's nothing new.
Yeah, and as I've been trained in North America, having a master's degree in human resources management, I found that creating a hostile work environment is an extreme offense, to the point where any employer that goes to court against an employee in America, the court tends to take the side of the employee, because too often the employer is able to crush the very being of the employees. They treat them as if they're dispensable. They can be discarded, and they can re-employ others at a lower wage. And this is the type of culture that we have created economically in a country, where people look at the Bahamian as one that we can discard and we can replace. And I take this to even a higher level, Danny Gibson and Ms. Ali McIntosh, that in our country, we are now susceptible to being replaced universally. We see other people coming into our country of different nationalities, not that we're against universal growth, but as we grow, we want to grow in a Bahamian way, in a cultural way, in a way that we can be appreciated for who we are. And so this disrespect has gone even further than just BPL. This has even gone into our natural resources. People ask, well, how can I get $100,000 a year? Well, first of all, to get $100,000 a year, you have to be respected. If you're not respected as a people, then whatever you have of value is also not respected. Therefore, you're not compensated for. So the biggest issue that I see in all of this is respect, as Ali McIntosh just mentioned.
You know, if I may add to what Garth has said, the fact that the entire culture has been created in the country. That's why we're having the brain drain, and young people are going in droves out of the country.
That's right.
Until we can create that level of respect for the worker, for the worker's rights, for the environment in which he works, we are going to always, and we're going to continually see the brain drain. And you know what God said, and I agree with all of it, but they see nothing wrong with it. That's the point I have. That's the disgust I have. That these people see nothing wrong with treating Bahamians in this way, when the preamble of the Constitution indicates that our labor should not be exploited or our lives frustrated by deprivation. So when people who are leading the country, people who are governing the institutions cannot see something wrong with how they treat Bahamian labor, then there's something desperately wrong in the country.
And a union should not have to come to almost to blows to be able to get what it wants, or have to agitate in such extreme measures to be able to get some kind of some sort of wonderful working cohesive agreements in place for its membership. It should not be that now.
You know what is so terrible though, when it is that we have come to this point where union is being busted. That's what they call it. Unions are being busted. When you are disrespecting the president, when you are not paying attention to any of the components of the contract, clearly you are trying to bust the union. And if this matter has any implication as to the government of the Bahamas, the imposition on the union, not the union, the corporation, in terms of why the union is being treated like that, that's the indictment, that they're busting the union, and it has to stop, because unions were given in the Constitution the right to get together, the right to have their say We want excellence, and if there is excellence in the union, there should not be union busting regarding the protection of the rights of the workers.
You know, and Shanique, the thing it is, it's not just this one union. If you look at it in the past 4 years, almost every union in this country has been up in arms, and a lot of them have similar complaints where the employers, whether it's private sector or public sector, are not respecting the unions, where they're going and they're trying to change the agreements or trying to force them into lowering the terms or to just change the agreement so that the workers' rights, well, the workers won't have any more rights. And I think that it's sad that this is what we've come to in the country. And it's almost like sexual harassment, right? Sexual harassment is when somebody with the power harasses someone without the power. When you work in these companies, the boss has the power and they can write on you. They can give you letters. Sometimes I've seen some employees get supersession letters simply because the boss don't like them. But you can't tell me, I know workers in this country that haven't been regularized after 13 years of employment. And the boss says, oh, they shouldn't be regularized. Christ, if I'm working for a year, you should regularize me. If not, send me home within 9 months. And I think that it's poor on the Bahamas government to allow this to happen within the government itself. And that there begins where it starts from. These people have the power. And then not only that, if they do fire you, they can ruin your reputation. And they do, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. So when you decide that you want to go and get a job somewhere else, you can't. You know, I'm living proof of that. You know,
well, Danielle, let's not go. Well, Danielle, let's not go down that road right there. Let's not do that. Let's just stay. Let's stay focused on this here one show today, because all of that that'll take over the entire show. Yes. But no, it is. It's a draconian way of existing in a country like this. And so whether it is that you're being attacked from all levels, it's just no respect on any level and from anywhere in this country. Right. And as you said, you also mentioned something that's been existing for far too long as well. It's people being in the public service who themselves are just they're hanging in the balance, not regularized, not pensionable, just so many denied different rights that come with employment, but because they are not permanent, they are just sitting there collecting a menial salary that has to be corrected. Too many people, there are people who've been in there for decades in that same position, and so we know what the issue is there. Yes. But listen, let's just move on very quickly if we can. We're going to look at some stories making news today, and among them, the Minister of Tourism, Dionisio de Aguilar, very happily talking about the fact that, listen, tourism is on the up and up. Arrivals are scheduled to look incredibly wonderful, especially Independence weekend, or the time just before surrounding Independence, Bahamas Independence, that is. And so how do we feel about that? That should be certainly great news, eh? The fact that we have this increase in arrivals. So that means, you know, for example, Bahama and Atlantis are, I think it was 70 to 80% occupancy levels around that time. And just a number of sort of spin-offs, and just so wonderful, I guess, to see the ripple effect take place once these people begin to arrive.
Yeah, I do think that it's good that people are back to work. Okay. People have to get back to work. People are losing homes, cars, and everything else because they can't get back to work. I just think if we're proceeding in that regard, we have to continue to have some level of protocol, but we must give the opportunity for people to get back to work so that they can eat. That is important.
That is important. And when you say some level of protocol, you're talking about the fact that we have kind of loosened it a little, maybe too much. You mean for those arriving in the country?
Yeah, let's put it like this. When 9/11 happened, we used to just travel, but after 9/11, we got used to the new normal. To be searched, to be screened in such fashion. So I do believe that we must get back to the place we must get to a place of a new normal where we can do testing. I don't think that people should be coming into the country without at least antigen testing. And the government of Bahamas should not say that people who are vaccinated should not be tested. Because when you are not tested, the point that people who are vaccinated is catching COVID again. So we should have them come. the United States government still requires, and I've been online 2 days ago, still requires that you have an antigen test before you enter the country. So the government should do the same thing.
We should do the same thing.
Yeah, we should. I don't care when
and I'll tell you, the US is no paradigm of all things and how they should be run. Because remember, maybe less than a month ago, they said, okay, if you're fully vaccinated, no more masks. The masks aren't necessary. And just today, now, the WHO is saying, no, fully vaccinated, but you need that mask. Garth, do you support what Ali just said about in terms of have the rapid test in place for people entering the country, if only?
Yeah, that puts me in a bind because I agree with her. I am still one of those people that are not sold on the whole idea of the COVID-19. And I'll say why. I know people have died from it, and it's tragic. I know that we need to protect ourselves from it. I know that we need to practice proper hygiene. But I just have questions, Shanique. I just have questions. You know, like I said, I have a biological mind. If you have a COVID-19 virus, how is it that it has already changed 3 times, going on the 4th time within the space of a year to 2 years? I don't think Danny's a scientific mind. I can't recall any virus that actually mutates that quickly, first of all. Second of all, if the AstraZeneca vaccine was used for virus number 1, are you saying too that AstraZeneca is also good for virus number 2, virus number 3, and now we're looking at virus number 4? One vaccine fits all? And then you're saying to me that those who have been vaccinated have to be revaccinated. And so to me, it's just too much. It's almost as if someone is trying to force pork down the throat of a Rastafarian. You know, it just doesn't fit for me. I'm not saying to people not to take the vaccine. I'm not saying not to make the personal decision. But as for me, I would like that same right. And so for those who are musicians in our country and the others who are now being forced or coerced or encouraged in a strong way to now take this vaccine and follow these protocols, I'm a bit nervous about it. I'm not happy about it. I need some more solidification and some more proof. And maybe Danny can help me. She's a scientific mind too, but I just don't buy it all. But Ali, if it is so, I do agree with you, Ali McIntosh.
Danielle, do you support Garth when Garth says, listen, he questioned the whole COVID-19 existence? Do you support him with those thoughts?
In some regard, Shanique, I do. I think that if, like he says, it's a vaccine that's mutating, and as it mutates, then we want to know, does the virus mutate? So does the vaccine that we created for A, is it now good for C and D and E and F? And if not, do we have a new vaccine for that? How long does this vaccine last? I mean, it's a lot of questions, and I think that there has to be more research done in order to make a full case. But back to the original question in terms of tourism, again, I continue to be disappointed in our country and in governance and in the system, not the government. And I want to make it clear so that the political people understand that it's not the politics side. I'm talking about the infrastructure that we continue to put in place, right? We have had over a year to come up with ideas and solutions on how to bring our country back gradually. And all I continue to see is it's like ball busting. You know, the police are coming one way at business owners. You can't do this, you can't do that. But the government hasn't provided any solutions. And now I see business people that are being creative with their spaces and are now trying to provide outdoor venues for their patrons. And then they're still being busted, but there's nothing really in place. You know, when you go into an elevator, on the wall of an elevator, you can see the maximum capacity for people. You can see, call this number if this is being violated. We have a cadre of professionals, public health professionals, environmental health professionals. There should be some way that they are now trained to do inspections for this new environment, so that we know when we walk into an establishment, this can only hold 30 people. So if you walk in and there's 100 people inside, that's a problem. I mean, like, I just feel like the system itself is not moving with the changing times so that we can attract the kind of people that we want to come to the Bahamas who can follow and abide by the where the guidelines.
Maybe all of that sounds maybe too idealistic, because, for example, let's just look at Australia. Australia is back in lockdowns. Australia is back where we were last year. So Australia hasn't even come to the place where we are. Australia has gotten only 10% of vaccines for a population of 25 million. And so out of the 10%, you still have percentages among them who saying, I ain't sure about this vaccine. I don't know if I even want to take that. So Australia, businesses are suffering. People are frustrated. In fact, I understand with the whole weekend of lockdowns, they had people say, man, forget y'all, man. And they went to the beach. And so the thing about it is, so I guess I say that to say, maybe in that regard, we are expecting a bit too much when other governments are still trying to figure it out. When even the United States today now is puzzled with its hand under its chin and saying that, hey, wait a minute, this Delta variant, as Garth mentioned about other variants, this Delta variant, how we going to approach this? What's going to happen? What are we going to do about it? And so, listen, let me just get to a couple of comments. Yes, ma'am. Let me get to a couple of comments, and then, of course, I will let you guys jump in. Ryan, I wouldn't say that. I'm always an optimist. And so I'm very careful of words that I use. And so I wouldn't say that about the Bahamas or any country for that matter. But let me just get to Jeff Charlton's comment. Jeff says, stop breeding workers and have our people taught to be owners of their own businesses and not working for people, be able to control their own destiny as a people. Again, very idealistic, Jeff. But the point is, you will always have workers. On this here platform, I try to push that. You hear me often talk about multiple streams of income. My title sponsor today, for example, CB Financial, talks about helping people bring their business ideas into reality. Give CB Financial a phone call, in fact. Let them help you manifest and flesh out the idea that you have in your mind and properly do it so you make money, not so you open up today and then next week you're wondering what's going on. No. A company like that and those group of experts, they help you be able to put meat on the bones, per se, of your business idea. But the thing is, there are many people, yes, our country could do better. Our citizens can do better, of course. But the thing about it is, people will still be employees wherever you find them, wherever you are. And not everybody will go and own a business. Alejandra Pinder says, I bet his stance would be different if he was on an oxygen tank. Like, she is saying she actually had COVID and she was on an oxygen tank. And she bet that you would perhaps be saying something different if you had the experience that she had. And so, listen, I thank you all for your comments. Keep it. Everybody will not work for themselves. Rochelle Farrington, listen, keep it coming. Let's go take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to continue on this line of discussion. This is The Conversation. Share the live stream. Continue making your comments. I will get to as many as possible. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back in just a minute.
To shed some extra inches of unwanted belly fat. Did you know that there are alternatives to surgery to get rid of unwanted fat? Let Therapy Natural Health Spa help you reduce fat without surgery. Therapy Natural Health Spa employs a series of methods in a customized plan to suit your fat loss goals. Target those stubborn and challenging areas on the body with our cavitation body shaper that uses heating lasers to break up and melt fat during each session. Did you know that as you drink water and exercise, that your lymphatic system and liver work together to help eliminate fat? Let Therapy Natural Health Spa help you get the results for a free consultation and let Therapy Natural Health Spa work out a plan for you. Check us out on Instagram or Facebook. Our numbers are 393-1126 or 806-1132.
Maybe it's for the thrill, or the scenery, or maybe you do it for the speed, or maybe it's for the baby. It might just be for the next stop, or even for the beautiful moments. Whatever your reason for driving, we'll be there to keep you going. Atura Auto, servicing your vehicle at a price that keeps your pockets happy. Call us today.
Today's show is being brought to you by our title sponsor. Of course, we thank all of our sponsors. It's good to have you all on board. You want to sponsor, inbox us, and let's get you started. CB Financial Limited, 577-3734. The wonderful group of wonderful expert accounting and financial experts who come together in very simple terms to assist you bring life to your existing business, or certainly help you bring your idea into reality. Once again, give them a call, 577-3732. For the people who said, listen, Bahamians need to become business owners, well, take that first step right there. Give CB Financial a call and let them help you be able to and just and also be in business to be profitable, because sometimes you get into business and you're discouraged. You need a professional to be able to help you put systems in place and make sure that you understand fully how to operate that business so that it's around for the long term. And once again, CB Financial, thank you so much, 577-3734. Come back in, panelists. Let's go. We talked about the fact that, listen, tourism is reopening. Ali said, wait, but don't go too far. Even the nurses union said, listen, no, let's examine this. Ali feels as though that rapid test should be in place for visitors coming into the country. After all, the United States requires it, and many other countries require it. Why did we decide to sort of shelve it for people who are vaccinated, for those who are vaccinated, when, as you rightly pointed out, people who are vaccinated can still somehow expose other people and themselves. And so those are that rapid test should certainly continue to be in place as our people go back to work. And as we continue to open up. Anybody wants to jump in?
But could I quickly just I know someone made mention about my view on I apologize if I'm offending you, but if I may clarify just quickly, I am against all diseases, all. I would like to see the very same energy and effort given to HIV immunizations. I would like to see it done for cancer. I've lost a lot of friends to cancer. My mother herself had 7 tumors in her body, and she was miraculously healed. And so I'm all for the healing. Just excuse me for having questions, because this is how I've been made up. You may say I'm an educated fool, but once again, I am not one of those people that you can just say because you are the government or you are the authority. If it doesn't make logical and biological sense to me, I think I have a right to exercise my thought and say, I am not yet convinced. You may be convinced, and I respect you for that. Do as you may. But for my entire life, I've always said things that people have said to me, Garth, I don't believe you. And then 3 years later, they come back to me and said, if I had only listened to you, I would have been further ahead. And then they get angry at you as if you should have been more strong in telling them what you believe. I'm not asking you to be my disciple. I'm not asking you to follow what I am saying. I'm just simply saying to you to respect the thoughts and the processes of others who are of a more scientific nature, that this is not logical and they need more proof. That's all I'm saying.
Daniel, I think it was you that wanted to jump in first, and then Ali.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, again, like we always, we look at what's going on in the country, and we are always so foreigner friendly. To when I read this article in the newspaper with the chairman of Bahamas there saying that Bahamians urged to avoid weekend travel as porting impacts LPIA. But as a domestic tourist, I'm also putting money into the economy. I pay the same airport taxes and the same airport fees as any person coming into the country. Why are you telling me that I need to not travel so that they can come in and do what they need to do? Is my travel less important than theirs? I mean, come on, like I
like
want
that.
us to start.
I like that. Daniel, like that.
The promise is, if it's for Bahamians, then at least treat us like, like we're not
Like
second class citizens in our country.
like we too have the rights to be able to enjoy travel, or perhaps for travel for necessity.
Well, just like we were talking with the BEC issues, it's just about respect. I mean, just a little bit of respect. And see, it is always flow over in everything happening in the country. And we're not just talking about this administration, we're talking about successive administration. And Daniel brought that point that the foreigner has the best, but there has to be a point where Bahamas is for Bahamians first. And when the Bahamas is for Bahamians first, that is how we are going to look at it. We are going to treat Bahamians like our travel is important. And so they have to actually go right there in that regard. I mean, I'm loving Danielle and her conversation. God, is always a preacher in this regard. But I've always, somebody talk about idealistic. Listen here, what's wrong with idealistic? What's wrong with best practices? What we are trying and what the professionals are saying is that we ought to walk cautiously as we get into this. The point is, we had over a year and a half to really consider how else we could drive this economy, but the administration did not even think of it, Shanique. Not one single iota. Only thing they wait for this pandemic for the tourism to open back up. People
so tourists can start but tourism, but Ali McIntosh, who is aspiring to lead this country, tourism is the greatest gift for any country, and it is the gift that keeps giving once it's done right in this new environment now that's hit the world. So the point is, tourism will be there. What other industry would you want to give attention to? I see Michael Pinchard is trying his best to try to make something happen in agriculture. What other industry would you want that would you as leader want to bring to the table for us to pursue?
What is
the free gift, Danielle? Energy. Go ahead, Ali.
The pandemic showed us that tourism is fickle, and that although it's a wonderful gift that keeps on giving, you can come to a point where it is actually shut down. And one thing happens, you just can think about your home, right? You don't have to have people come into your home. If you have to have people come to your home in order for you to eat, you are in a situation. So we have to find a way to expand agribusiness, and agribusiness will actually expand both local travel, local shipping, local change back and forth in terms of import, exports within the country. So that agribusiness, the expansion of agribusiness based on the BCP model, is going to create a great deal of revenue for the country, that even when a pandemic, like we see over the last 18 months, shuts down a country and shuts down 67% of the GDP, that we can still be working among ourselves. And that is what has saved Jamaica all this time. Their money has been devalued.
Garth, you were trying to jump in, or no?
Well, I particularly love the whole idea that Cuba actually did. They actually invested totally in finding a vaccine, and they have a 92% efficacy in terms of the rate of cure for COVID-19. I think that is tremendous for a developing nation, for a Caribbean nation, for an island nation. And I am totally perplexed as to why this country historically has been known for healthy living. We've always been known for our waters that bring healing. We've always been known
Not in the last few decades, this country has been known for healthy living, but go ahead.
So where is the investment in health and in healthy living and in restoration? We have places in the United States like UG Pines where people spend thousands of dollars just to spend a week or 2 weeks to get natural healing. Where is that here in the Bahamas? If I were to be sick, and this is what COVID-19 has taught me, and as a leader of the People's National Coalition, I would say this to you. Where is the investment in healthy lifestyle living? With all this push we have, where are the scientific centers, the experimental centers, where are the labs, the lab technicians, the scientists that can tell us what's in Anderson, what's in penicillin. Do we have that here in the Bahamas? What is in Macuna province, monkey tamarin, where it has the highest rate of male testosterone in the world? Where are these people? Danny's a scientific mind. Why can't we invest in Danny Gibson? Why can't we believe in Danny Gibson and invest in the future of the Bahamas scientifically? Yes, maybe we'll never have a ship that goes to the moon, but we will be the #1 place on this earth for people once they become ill, want to come to the Bahamas, sit on a beach, and get some health care in order to be restored.
You know, I remember.
Well, medical tourism has been shuffled around and sounded like a nice little term for quite a number of years now. And it was never, I guess, seriously pursued, if I can say it that way. Ali?
Shanique, for many years, people have been coming here for research and development. It is just that the Bahamas has not been involved in it. People have come here, they talk about our fauna and our flora. They talk about our bush medicine. The point is the government of the Bahamas has never really focused on it. And a new government in the country will focus on research and development. As God says, all of those things that make us well, that keep us well, and we are not focusing on it. I mean, we could have developed our own vaccination by now.
And I would have taken it. I would have taken this the first shot. Me, I would have taken it.
Well, the point is, I'm not taking the vaccine that they're presenting now. I think people should have. But if I had to, I would put my bet on Cuba's vaccine. For the point is, I know they pay attention to the details of what they do with the natural resources in their country. And so the government of the Bahamas must focus on the natural resources. There are more than 26. So it's not just aragonite. It is not just sand and salt, but we have flora and fauna and natural medicines that can heal, that can deliver, that can set our people free. Let's see, I'm getting ready to preach that.
Yes, you need a little scripture text to back up the sermon,
That's all. But I'm saying this can help, because you know what? I've stayed well throughout the whole time, because I have fever grass in my yard and mint in my yard and pear leaf. And those are the things I drank throughout the entire COVID-19. My entire family, nobody's been sick. Because of the people concentrating on what is here in the country, we can do better. In the 80s, the health of a nation is the wealth of a nation. We don't talk about that anymore, because the proliferation of fast food has become the replacement to what we should be doing.
That is why I said to Garth, he said the Bahamas is known as, I'm like, not for the last few decades, it hasn't been known as a paradigm of health and a paradise of health and wellness, etc. Because we have just, as the rest of the world has, gravitated toward too much the Western lifestyle. Danielle, I'll give you an opportunity for a comment.
Shanique, back to your original question, I would simply say this to whatever that comment was about the idealism here. The thing is that the Bahamas is an archipelagic nation. We have to focus on us. And when we talk about whatever government of the day is in power, you got to make it make sense for everyone in the Bahamas first. And then you worry about the world, because the world ain't worrying about you. You think EU worrying about what happening in the Bahamas, or America worrying about what happening in the Bahamas. The only thing that they're hoping for is that we keep ourselves together, so they don't have to put out another warning or issue. But look how quickly they will put out a warning or issue against travel to the Bahamas. And that is because we, everybody else, and on a global scale, and comparing ourselves and what we do to this country and that country, we ought to be trying to make things right for us. What makes sense for the Bahamas? People are going to gravitate to us because we do it for ourselves, not because we do it for them.
No,
you know,
that is what will make us outstanding and more appealing, when we do it for ourselves and redefine who we are, what it is we offer, and what we have. Exactly. I thank you all very, very much. Hello to Atlanta. Yes. Wrap up, Danny. Wrap up the comment.
That goes back to Garth's comment also about investing in the Danny Gibsons. He's just using my name. But because our pharmacologists are not coming back to the Bahamas, Because why should I come back to the Bahamas when my research isn't going to be taken seriously, when it's difficult for me to be published here in the Bahamas? You know, I work for an international company that does research right here in the Bahamas, and every paper that they produce is produced at an American company or for a European school or magazine. It's not Bahamian, but you're in my Bahamian waters. You're studying my lionfish. You're studying my conch. You're studying everything about my country, and none of that information is proprietary.
Because we don't make it a priority for us and mandatory. We don't want to get involved in that. You know, just come visit, throw your anchor out, do whatever it is you need to do, and we're good with that. We just count it as tourism. Brenda Lane Wilson in Atlanta, the wellness travel is a rapidly growing segment. And so, guys, there's a business idea. I don't think a government should also come up with every idea. You hear the wellness travel. Wellness travel is a growing, and you're right, people want a more authentic, more holistic experience. The islands are ripe for it. And so go out there and explore, make it happen. You see all these things going about now, and all these opportunities in terms of grants and business ideas and funding. How about creating something that's wellness travel? How about that? And see how that goes. And so I thank you all very, very much for participating today. Garth, when go Scott, 30 seconds, 3-0.
I have a quick nugget for you though. As we're practicing the Airbnb model, you can take your Airbnb model now and cross it with the idea of natural medicines. Learn the bush medicines, learn what they're used for. And when people come to your home, you're now offering them these samples or these bush medicines, and you create a customer base that people may be ordering from you from abroad online, or they may return back to you to stay at your Airbnb. Just a quick idea.
It's a great idea. You know, it is to have those wonderful teas there as a part of your whole appeal. People, like you say, people are interested in something that's authentic to the region that they visit. And imagine our wonderful bush teas that have such great medicinal benefits as well. Really listen, guys, it's ripe. I think it was Ryan who talked about being business owners. It's possible. Not everybody can be a business owner, but it's possible for you to be one. Go and explore these areas. Many of them are largely untapped. Go and explore these areas. I thank you all so much. I thank you, Servant Leader Ali McIntosh. I thank you very much, Danielle Gibson. I thank you very much, Mr. Garth Rosborough. Thank you very, very much. I thank also our first guest, the president of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, Kyle Wilson, who led a protest today of BPL workers. And he stopped by and told us exactly what led to that and what drove them to pound the pavement today. And I thank you so much, social media audience. Thank you so much for participating and watching from wherever you're watching from. If you haven't done so already, do share the live stream. Thank you very, very much. Tag some people in here. Get this out there. Get this show out there today. Everybody have a wonderful afternoon. Kara, thank you. And of course, thank you very much to our title sponsor today, CB Financial. CB Financial. You talk about those ideas we just threw out there? Call CB Financial. They will assist you in bringing it into fruition. 577-3734, 577-3734. Many industries, many ideas. So it is not just sort of concentrated on one idea or one area. And so go take your idea there. You would need a good plan to be able to go now and get it funded. Or perhaps you have something in place already and you just need it to make sense for you. CB Financial. I thank you all so much once again. My wonderful panelists, thank you very much for your always being insightful, always being just very, very researched, very intelligently expressed, and also very engaging. I thank each of you very much. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Kara, thank you so much. Everybody, social media audience, thank you as well. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you for having us.
A little conversation. You